In July 2026, over 43 million Americans are carrying debt they're struggling to pay. But what actually happens if you just stop paying? Does the debt disappear? Do you go to jail? The truth is way more complicated than you think. I'm going to walk you through the exact timeline of what happens when you miss payments. Every stage, every consequence, and most importantly, what you can actually do about it before it's too late. Because here's what the debt industry doesn't want you to know. They're counting on your fear and confusion. But once you understand the system, you can protect yourself. Let's start with day one, the moment you miss your first payment. This is where everything begins. Most people think nothing happens immediately. Wrong. The penalties start faster than you realize. Within 24 hours of your missed payment, you're hit with a late fee. For credit cards in 2026, that's typically $30 to $40. Every single time. But that's just the appetizer. Your interest rate? It can shoot up to the penalty APR, which can be as high as 29.99%. Some cards even go higher. Day 15. This is when the phone calls start. Early morning, late evening, sometimes multiple times per day. They're not illegal yet, they're just persistent. By day 30, your creditor reports the late payment to the credit bureaus. This is the big one. Your credit score takes its first major hit, dropping anywhere from 60 to 110 points. And here's the kicker. That late payment marks days on your credit report for 7 years. 7 years. Now we're at day 60. You've missed 2 payments. The calls are more aggressive. The letters are piling up. Your creditor is now legally required to send you written notice. Day 90. This is the threshold where everything changes. Your account is now seriously delinquent. Most creditors will charge off your debt at this point. But charge off doesn't mean forgiven. It's an accounting term. They're writing it off their books as a loss, but you still owe every penny, plus all those fees and interest that keep piling up. This is also when your debt gets sold. Your original creditor sells your debt to a collection agency, usually for pennies on the dollar. A $2,000 debt might sell for $300. But you still owe the full amount. The collection agency bought your debt as an investment. They're going to do whatever it takes to collect. Welcome to collections. Day 120. A new company now owns your debt, and they play by different rules. The calls intensify. The tactics change. They'll call your work if they can find a number. They'll contact relatives. They'll send letters designed to look like legal documents. Some of this is legal. Some of it crosses the line. Let's talk about what's happening to your credit score during all this. Because it's not just one hit. It's death by 1,000 cuts. Every 30 days you're late gets reported separately. 30 days late, 60 days late, 90 days late, 120 days late. Each one drops your score further. A score that was 700 can drop to 500 or lower. And at that level, you're locked out of the financial system. No loans. No decent credit cards. Higher insurance rates. Even job applications get affected. The collection agency will report the account too. So now you have the original creditor's negative marks and the collection account. Double the damage. Month 6. Half a year has passed. Your debt has probably been sold again, maybe even twice. Each sale resets the harassment cycle. This is when settlement offers start appearing. Pay 50% now and we'll forgive the rest. Sound great, right? But there's a massive catch nobody tells you about. The forgiven amount. The IRS considers it taxable income. Forgive $2,000 in debt. That's $2,000 added to your income for tax purposes in 2026. Plus, settling doesn't remove the negative marks from your credit. It just changes the status to settled for less than owed, which still looks bad to future lenders. Month 12. 1 year of non-payment. This is when things can get legal. The collection agency may decide to sue you. And yes, they can actually do this. If they sue and you don't respond, they win by default. It's called a default judgment. They don't even have to prove you owe the debt if you don't show up to defend yourself. And here's what terrifies people. With a judgment, they can garnish your wages. That means they take money directly from your paycheck before you even see it. In most states, they can take up to 25% of your disposable income. Every single paycheck, until the debt is paid in full, plus court costs and interest. They can also freeze your bank account. You wake up one morning and your debit card is declined. Your account is frozen while they take what you owe. But here's something crucial. They cannot take certain types of income. Social Security, disability, veterans benefits, and retirement accounts have protection under federal law. Also, you cannot go to jail for debt. Read that again. Debtor's prison is illegal in the United States. They might threaten it, but it's not real. The only exception, if you're ordered to appear in court and you ignore it, you could be held in contempt. That's not jail for debt. That's jail for ignoring the court. Let's talk about the statute of limitations. This is the time limit for how long they can sue you. In 2026, it varies by state, typically 3 to 6 years. But here's the trap. If you make even a small payment or acknowledge the debt in writing, you can reset that clock. It starts over from zero. After the statute runs out, they can still try to collect. They can still call and send letters. But they cannot sue you. The debt becomes legally unenforceable. However, and this is important, the debt doesn't disappear. It still exists. It still damages your credit for 7 years from the date of first delinquency. Some people try waiting it out, playing the long game. But 7 years of destroyed credit means 7 years of financial limitations. Higher costs on everything. Year 5, 6, 7. Zombie debt collectors might buy your old debt for almost nothing and try to collect. They're betting you don't know your rights or that the statute has expired. They use aggressive tactics, hoping you'll panic and pay. This is why documentation is everything. Keep records of every debt, every payment, every communication. The Fair Debt Collection Practices Act protects you. Collectors cannot harass you, lie to you, or threaten illegal actions. Know your rights and use them. So what should you actually do if you can't pay your debt? First, don't hide. Contact your creditor before you miss payments. Many have hardship programs in 2026. Request a payment plan. Lower interest rates. Temporary forbearance. These options exist, but only if you ask before you're months behind. If you're already in collections, send a debt validation letter within 30 days of first contact. Make them prove you owe what they claim. You'd be surprised how often they can't. Consider nonprofit credit counseling, not debt settlement companies that charge huge fees. Real nonprofit counselors who can negotiate on your behalf. Bankruptcy is an option, though it should be your last resort. Chapter 7 wipes out unsecured debt, but destroys your credit for 10 years. Chapter 13 creates a repayment plan. Whatever you do, don't use predatory payday loans or title loans to pay debt. You're just trading one problem for a worse one at 400% interest. If you found this helpful, smash that like button and subscribe to Operation Wealthy. We're breaking down the money topics that actually matter in 2026. Debt doesn't have to control your life forever. Understanding the system is the first step to beating it. You're not powerless. You're just playing a game where nobody explained the rules until now.